What's up, Dragon Brood? So, the weather's been kind of terrible out today and really haven't done much with myself outdoors or with the animals, but I did still have something interesting I wanted to share with you today. And before we get into it, if you haven't, please remember to like this video and share it. And if nothing else, subscribe because that'll help us grow the channel and eventually monetize this place to allow me to do some other cool things with the chickens. The last time I put up a video a week ago, I was able to show the chickens kind of coming into the yard, playing in the snow, and there was a concern that one of our ladies was actually being picked on by the other chickens because she looked very bare. And the reason this is a big deal is because she generally is the one that's kind of in charge, and she's not usually one to get picked on. So that was a concern because it's not likely and it didn't make sense to us. And then there was the reality, okay, if that's the case, then maybe she's sick, right? So we took her in, and here's kind of the first picture, actually, for those of you who don't remember. And we looked at her and said, oh, well, she's not being picked on at all. This is just a really hard molt. So for those of you who don't know, molting occurs in a lot of animals throughout the animal kingdom. And it's usually a way of just, for lack of a better word, shedding an outer layer of skin, or in this case, feathers, to prep the new ones, I guess, for the next season. Well, usually in chickens, it's not all that noticeable, or most birds for that matter, as their plumage will stay mostly the same, and they'll just lose a few feathers at a time, slowly replacing the other ones underneath. Not a big deal. And, you know, even when I go to clean out their chicken coop, I'll just see feathers in there, and I know what they're from. However, this case was pretty extreme. And in this case, it's actually called a hard molt. And for lack of a better term, just imagine, or explanation, just assume the bird exploded all of her feathers. So you're exposed all the way down to the skin, effectively. This is what happened. So we ended up bringing her inside, putting her into one of the large size animal cat carriers, and we had to separate her, mostly because it was getting really cold outside. We knew it was going to be wet for a couple of days, and she wasn't going to be prepared to deal with that. So we've been without a bathroom. Well, without our second or our guest bathroom, or whatever you call it. The other bathroom that we have in the house. By the way, I don't want to make it sound like I'm living large. I'm really not. Like, we just happen to have a house that has a second bathroom. But we ended up lining the tub with plastic, putting extra sheets and stuff in there, and making sure the heater stayed on, and then we made sure to lights on, lights off, kind of regulate the light cycle for her. So she had as good as we could give her for normal living conditions and comfort while she was growing all of her feathers back in. And, you know, I'm going to have the pictures up over here kind of progressing through them so you can see how over the course of about a week, she's managed to grow the large majority of her feathers back. Like, it's kind of interesting because you would think it would be this crazy long process for as many as she lost, but it's really not. Honestly, it happens very quickly. And maybe that's one of the reasons we don't notice that often whenever an animal is molting. I mean, say like it's a snake or something, sometimes you notice because they shed their skin and then they get fresh skin, and then you'll just see a snake skin laying somewhere, right? It kind of happens over the course of like one evening, and you come back and there's a fake second snake, right? You don't have that with chickens. It's sort of like, okay, we'll lose a couple feathers off and on for the better part of a week or two, and then we're good to go, right? And occasionally we've seen them where I can't remember which one of our girls it was, but we had one of them, or a couple of them actually, that had just lost a chunk of tail feathers all at one time. So they kind of had like a little feathery nub, but then it grew back over the course of about a week or two. So it's not something we really concerned ourselves with. But this one was very concerning because this is the first one of our chickens we've had that took the hard molt route. And the only thing I can really figure is it's just one of those things that she just waited late in the season, and her body just said, okay, cool, we need these new feathers now, and all the other ones fell off. And usually this is something that's regulated by seasons, hormones, you know, whatever, regardless of the type of animal that it is. So it's not usually something you even have to think about. It's just normal process of things that happen. But, you know, here we are. I mean, and she's looking almost like a normal chicken now. Kind of. I mean, the thing is, she at least doesn't have a bunch of skin laid bare anymore. She's set up to the point that here in the next 24, 48 hours, we'll be able to put her back out in the coop with the other ladies, and she'll be in great shape. It won't be a concern. I mean, through all this, she's still eating normally, she's still drinking normally, obviously still passing stool as normal, So there's really nothing wrong with her other than physically she was just light on feathers. Though it looks very concerning when you see it for the first time. But, if you've ever seen this in the case with a different bird in the future, you'll at least know what it is. It's kind of cool just to know about. Other update on things that are going on with the ladies, we're still getting eggs. Quite a few as of 2 days ago. I didn't check yesterday. But we're under the assumption, based on the eggs and the style and the color, that they might actually be from Carnage, which is interesting because maybe she's just going to lay all through the season. However, there's more than one type of egg being laid, so we're still trying to figure out who the other one is at this point. But we've been able to pull still about 3 to 4 eggs every couple days, so we have a group of them that are still putting out here in, well, now it's January. So very odd when they normally cut off, like I said, sometime around early to mid-November. Doesn't know if that means they're going to start later next year or if they're just going to lay through the season or what happened. But it's definitely an odd winter for us, but it does mean we're getting a few eggs. Good news, I won't have to remember to buy eggs in January and February necessarily, because that's one of the things that usually comes up. I have about 2 months where I'm going to the store, forget to buy eggs, because we just have eggs normally coming from the backyard. But yeah, if there's anything y'all ever want to see or want to know about or have questions about, feel free to post them in the comments. We're always looking for ideas on what to make new content around or teach about or whatever, things that we've discovered, or maybe things you just want to know about us involving us with the animals. Up to you. But like I said, please leave a comment. Also, remember, if you haven't, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and, tell your friends about it. Share it. Help us grow the channel, because we have some big ideas we'd want to get to in the future as life changes and, we get more chickens. But that's all I have for you for now. We'll see you next time.